We had another big death in the series at the hands of a Morgan, but this time it wasn't by Dexter. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We're finally here for the Season 7 finale, and we have a special guest returning, none other than Sergeant Dokes. Yes, he's back from the dead, albeit in flashbacks only, and this episode was called Surprise, Motherfucker.
And what a return it was for Dokes. LaGuerta. Matthews wanted to take her back to Cuba. Looks like he's got to take her to hell, motherfucker. She's dead. But you know what? See, Dokes hasn't aged.
Nope.
Looks good.
Dokes looks like... Well, to be fair, I mean, it's only been, 6 years since Season 2? 5 years? I suppose it's not that long.
Still a decent period of time, you know? No? Well, I mean, I think there's other people on the show that have aged worse than Dokes. That's what I'll say. I'll go as far as saying that, but...
Well, I mean, he's dead, so I would like to think he's aged quite a bit in 5 years.
I remember seeing one
Sticks and stones.
I remember seeing one of these clips in like a short, and it said like Season 7, Episode 12, but I just assumed that they mistyped 1, because I just didn't think Dexter or Dokes aged. But it was actually refreshing seeing this and be like, holy fuck, this is actually a flashback, but it was great seeing Dokes, and you know what, I think I mentioned maybe last season that they had missed a trick, maybe not to include the guy in more flashbacks, but it's good to see him. Especially with how integral the Bay Harbour Butcher is to the show.
Well, he's blamed for it, like, so... I mean,
he's blamed for it, we need to see him.
It makes sense for Dokes to reappear, and that's what he did this episode. So we start with Dexter, he visits Hannah. Hannah says she should have killed me. Dexter says I had to protect my sister. But Hannah says you picked the wrong one, you were supposed to pick me. But obviously Dexter didn't do that. Did he pick the wrong one? Is Hannah a bit delusional for thinking that Dexter should have, let her kill his sister?
I think they're all a bit delusional, man. This whole not 1 ounce of truth in the relationship, killing people and how it's going to work. Underestimates his love for Debra, but she takes a bite out of him. Manages to get out of get out of custody this episode, escapes the hospital, drops a plant off at his house. I mean, that pretty much wraps up Hannah McKay.
Yeah, drops a plant off and then that's it. Bails, leaves. Escapes, I don't know, custody, I guess. I mean, it's a bit strange. I mean, I know she was overdosing or whatnot, but you'd think security would be a bit more tight.
You would, especially as someone that's been
serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. Serial killer, a lot of murders, but I think Hannah McKay, decent character. Not much. She's probably like the most standard 7 out of 10 character you can get.
Well, 7 out of 10 is certainly not a score I would give to Sergeant Dokes. And let's just sum up the couple of flashbacks that we get. They're flashbacks, I guess, but I'm not sure if they're flashbacks or not. I think there were new scenes that were introduced as flashbacks.
Yes, that's the correct way to describe it, because they're actually putting timelines that we've never seen before. Because the timeline is before Season 1, when Dokes and LaGuerta were a thing. So that's the key thing, which I like.
Some of the scenes look a bit familiar, but I'm pretty sure it is new scenes with new dialogue, and it's just basically Dokes finding out slowly, Dexter letting his guard down a little bit, that here, you are a creepy motherfucker, there's something wrong with you, Morgan. And Dokes caught on fast, and Dexter's good at hiding things, hiding his emotions, hiding the true self from other people, but not with Dokes. I mean, Dokes was seen the way Dexter described his work, described the blood, the joy he took, the pride he took, the excitement he had when standing over dead bodies, and I mean, maybe other people should have seen it, to be honest, but Dokes, I mean, it didn't take him long.
No, it didn't, and there's also a key difference between the way, Masuka would treat a crime scene and Dexter. Masuka would laugh and joke, but it's in his own, banterful way. Dexter, you can clearly see, almost gets off on describing the actual violence and the blood.
When you think about Masuka, see the way he acts at a crime scene? He acts like that outside of a crime scene. Masuka acts the same way, and he jokes around all the time. See the way you would see Dexter get excited at a crime scene? You would never really see Dexter at work or outside at the bowling or whatever. You would never see Dexter get excited. See, when you think about it, he does come across as a boring character, doesn't he?
He's a boring character.
He's just a yes man. He's just a yes man, and people say, "Do you want to do this deck? 9 holes decks? Oh yeah, bowling team decks. Oh yeah,
Miguel."
So it was probably easy for Dokes to go, hold on here. Why is the only time this guy seem excited is when he's at a crime scene, when he's witnessing blood and death and people dying? And then, of course, Dokes put two and two together that Dexter had been looking through his stuff, looking through his notepads. He plucked a quote out of nowhere. And
I could have swore this scene. I think this was a scene. This was the scene I'd seen in a short, but I could have sworn I seen it in a short that it was just in season 2 or something. But I just couldn't really remember it. But what was it? You have to jump over the fence to get to the other side and see something along those lines. And Dux is like, "How the fuck do you know that, you creep motherfucker?"
it was good though. I liked it. I'm going to learn that quote. I'm going to start using it.
But obviously, what it implies is that Dexter killed the guy that Dux was hunting. And Dux was like, "Well, how the fuck would you know that?" But obviously, we know Dexter's kill room ritual. He probably said it to the guy.
Oh, absolutely, aye. But you know that's what Dexter gets for snooping through other people's shit. He got himself caught out. Anyway, speaking of getting caught, LaGuerta comes and basically arrests Dexter in his apartment when he's playing with the train set. So I guess
Gordon was sitting up in the hill, Gordon's hill. He was staring down at Tidmouth Sheds, and Dexter was staring down a life sentence, I guess.
Yeah, no good. Dexter didn't even get much time to play with Harrison's toys before he got taken in for talking to, for interrogation. Not many people were happy at the department. Batista's like, "What are you doing, Maria?" Then Debra was like, "What the hell? Let him go." But Maria's like, "Well, I'm the commanding officer here. I'm above you, and this is a conflicting matter."
It did add for a shock value here, but I think what maybe hurt LaGuerta's case is that she brought him in out of nowhere. There was like no consultation towards like a Batista. Obviously, she can't really go to Debra because A, she knows about it, and B, she's going to shoot it down to save face. But it was a risky manoeuvre from LaGuerta. But what I would have liked to see, she went through a list. Obviously, her and Matthews went through a list previously in the last couple of episodes. I maybe would have liked a bit more of an investigation into the other people. She kind of just stuck her claws into Dexter and went with it.
And again, that could just be due to quite a lot of things happening this season with Hannah and the Koshka Brotherhood. I feel like if you eliminate one of those story arcs, then the Maria and Matthews search could have definitely been looked into a lot more.
It could have, but I don't think it would have been too hard to ask for like Maria to just like put a couple of phone calls in and go to a couple of locations by herself, looking into a few Miami PD people. But yeah.
Well, she's got Dexter on his boat at night with bin bags, which is never a good sign. He claims he was throwing out food. She thinks he's getting rid of body parts. She's got a shirt with blood on it. Is it Hector's blood? No, it turns out it is his blood, but it's his blood from like 40 years ago when he was arrested. And there's fingerprints, but the fingerprints aren't from Dexter. They're from Maria. So at this point, she realises that Dexter has pretty much sabotaged her. She's brought him in into custody to interrogate him, but in reality, Dexter probably knew this was coming, and he's made everyone in the department think that Maria has tried to screw him and plant evidence on him. So Dexter he's threw her under the bus here.
He has threw her under the bus, and also it's a risky strategy because, yeah, it helps her get off your case and everyone thinks that she's just, in for you. But this is Dexter pretty much all but accepting and admitting that LaGuerta knows the truth. Because now she clearly knows that he's the one that did this. Who else would do it? Who else would have like the access to do it?
Yeah,
so it's a risky game.
Yeah, Maria's job then is under threat. Matthew says he's going to help her, but she needs to start actually doing some work, and he points her towards all the letters, all the mail on her desk.
You gotta kiss anything that remotely resembles an ass, Maria.
Honestly, man, I think Matthews it's almost like he gets better by season, doesn't he? I don't remember him throwing out lines like this in the opening seasons.
See, Matthews, I feel like he had a big part in the first 2 seasons, then he kind of went fucking missing in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him during those parts, but anyway, Dexter then breaks into LaGuerta's house, and he's trying to get all her evidence on Debra, helping him that night that he killed what was his name again? Tom Hanks' son.
Colin Hanks. Oh, the Doomsday Killer.
The Doomsday Killer. What was it? Travis Marshall. That's the one. But Travis Marshall.
She's got warrants on phone traces for Debra and Dexter's phone that night. Dexter killed Travis. So
good old Mike Anderson as well with
the CD,
the surveillance camera.
Debra then got shown that by LaGuerta. I think Debra's arse folded here under pressure. All she had to say is, "Here, I said I was never at the church. Just because I was a couple of blocks away getting fuel doesn't mean I was there." But no, her arse folds was like, "Oh, I must have forgot I went to see Dexter." Tell you what, man, Dexter wouldn't have folded under that pressure. She did.
How would he not? I mean, how would she not? The fucking church burnt down and she's seen 2 blocks away filling a gas canister. Come on.
Aye, but what suggests that she's got anything to do with it?
And she's seen...
No, even if she...
And the camera's sure going back towards the church. Come on.
It would never... Seeing look at the many technicalities in the court of law, man. Criminals getting thrown out. There's no... You can't convict someone based off this. I'm not denying that LaGuerta's onto something, but... Say she actually showed Batista.
I think she had her bang to rights, man. See if she shows Batista this. I think Batista's right there, but take a seat.
Think he's giving her the thumbs down.
But on
Batista did the Triple H.
Yeah, but I reckon Maria should have... she should have showed everyone... Why didn't she take this to Matthews? Honestly, I don't get it. I know it's plot purposes, but I think that if Matthews sees this or Batista sees this, then all of a sudden, I believe that they are on Team LaGuerta, but another guy that's on Team LaGuerta is Harry.
Problem is, though, they never expected Debra to be involved. It would have been more damning for me if it was Dexter with the petrol.
Well, definitely. Harry's on Team LaGuerta, though. He says to Dexter, you can't kill her. She doesn't meet the code. But doesn't matter. Dexter's going to do it anyway. He manages to get Estrada. We're supposed to believe that Estrada's this big Colombian Mexican hitman, but he gets taken down very easily, doesn't he?
A couple of fucking... isn't he?
True. Dexter uses...
He was built like fucking Original Sin.
Yeah.
He looked like something out of...
I mean, Dexter uses
like a Greek god or something.
Dexter uses a couple of kids to lure him into the trunk. I mean,
which again ain't very smart. No, do you not feel like Dexter...
witnesses into it? You're leaving...
He's leaving more paper trails than ever before.
It's getting sloppy. Dexter season 1 would never have done this.
I know you could say, well, yeah, at this point a lot of people know more than ever, but it's because of the sloppiness more people than ever know.
Anyway, here's this wee final confrontation with Estrada. Estrada tries to cop out and goes, I didn't want to do it. I had to, but I didn't want to do it. But
he also told Maria over the phone that, get down to the shipping containers, Maria. I'm here. My name's Hector Estrada.
I need your help. But there's no help coming for Estrada because he gets stabbed through the chest. Maria then does arrive. She's too late though, and she gets the little needle injection into the neck. And we've got Batista's party. Everybody's there, obviously, except Maria, except Dexter. Batista puts it down to these two just not really wanting to be around each other. But little does he know that they're both inside a cargo container.
Yep, and also Debra, she's like, I don't know where they are. I'll go and get Dexter. But Dexter injected Maria with only half the amount of the tranquilizer.
Didn't want to leave it in her system. But
again, if investigations go back to this night and Batista figures out, well, hold on here. I mean, a lot points towards Dexter doing the killings here. It's like this guy Estrada killed his mother, right? LaGuerta accused him of doing basically all these, the Bay Harbor Butcher, all these kills. She ends up dead with Estrada, who Dexter's clearly got a beef with both of them. And he wasn't there that night, the night LaGuerta died. All these things could get pieced together. See if Matthews wasn't just in it for his pension, I think he might have not been clouded here.
True, but Dexter's got a good plan, hasn't he? He's going to use Maria's gun, and he's going to use the gun and give the other gun and give it to Estrada, basically making it look like they shot each other, which does make sense because she was the one that got Estrada out, and she was trying to use Estrada to lure Dexter. So when you think about it from that point of view, it does give Dexter a good alibi.
No, it does, but obviously his plan hitches on shooting Maria in the exact same wound as the stab wound that he's... Well, he wasn't going to actually... No, not the wound, not Maria. He was going to stab...
No, he's already stabbed Estrada. He's going to shoot him in the stab wound.
Aye, well, there we go. Aye. All right, then. No need to greet about it,
well, no greeting anyway. We see a sign that Quinn's going to get in a new relationship because I guess that's all Quinn's got.
Lewis Green feels about 15 years ago, doesn't he?
Aye, so Quinn...
It's funny, the Koshka Brotherhood feel about yesterday, but Lewis Green's about decades ago.
Aye, Quinn is now going to get in a relationship with Batista's sister, so I'm
who's
sure...
weirdly about 40 years younger than him.
Yep. I know. Honestly, man, it strikes me more like father daughter.
Or it's like a sister he never knew he had, kind of thing. Like, oh, his mother or his dad had a kid and he didn't know of it.
25 years ago or something.
Wait, but no, but Batista at this stage must be 50. Around about 50, either or.
I must be pushing it, aren't I?
Jamie is not much over 30 of that. I wouldn't say she is.
Can't imagine she'd be being a full-time nanny in her 40s, like, would she? Probably not.
7 days a week, 24/7.
Anyway, Debra calls Dexter, tells him not to do it. She realises what is happening. By the time she gets there, Maria's already out. She comes in with her gun, points out Dexter, tells him not to fucking do it. Maria wakes up. She tells Debra, shoot him. He's a monster. You're not like this. You're a good person. Debra, don't be like him. And then Dexter then picks up his knife and basically goes, aye, you know what? She's right. You're not a bad person. You can do this. Dexter giving himself up, but did he know that that Debra wasn't going to shoot him? Was he really giving himself up here?
Yeah, it was kind of... I think it was more him forcing Debra into shooting LaGuerta in a weird manipulation tactic.
Yeah, making her pick, and she picked him. Debra then shoots LaGuerta, kills her, then goes over and hugs her as if that's going to make things all right. And I mean, that's another, legend at Miami down, Dokes down, LaGuerta down. Who's Dexter going to take down with him next? That's the big question. And then they both arrive at Batista's, his restaurant party.
It was New Year's Eve, Hogmanay.
Yeah, and I guess that gives them an alibi, doesn't it? Well, where were you the night Maria died? I was at your party.
Oh, but Dexter, you weren't there earlier in the night. So, who knows? But I would have liked a wee bit more of a final confrontation between Dexter and Maria. It kind of just happened abruptly. I would have liked him saying, I was under your nose the entire time, and I did this and I did that, and you didn't know shit until the end because of a fucking Mike Anderson DVD. Get it right, wouldn't you? Yeah. I killed Trinity, I killed Barrel Girls, that was me. The Skinner, that was me. Dokes, yeah, he was on to me, but I didn't kill him. I killed everyone else, though. I killed my own brother. You were so close, but yet so far. You were
a shite lieutenant, and you couldn't get the job done, so I had to take out the scum that you...
See, Miguel, I killed him as well. No, do you not think
so? The same Miguel that was going to kill her?
Like, I'm not saying, but... LaGuerta thinks she knows at this stage he's the Bay Harbour Butcher, right? But the Bay Harbour Butcher's only associated with killing a certain amount of people.
Yeah, Dexter's got more.
Like, in terms of, like, the main people that we've seen over the course of 7 seasons at this stage, how many people does LaGuerta think he's killed? She thinks he's killed a bunch of jobbers and Dokes. But he didn't kill Dokes.
Whereas his numbers are much greater.
I think that's what this lacked, but I think in order for that to happen, she would have had to be on a table, which didn't really suit what he was going for, so I understand why it went down that way.
Yeah, anyway, guys, that was it. That was an end to Season 7. A lot happening in this season. I mean, a good season. I do think the first 4 seasons are obviously the best, but for me, Season 7 is the standout season in the final 4 seasons, and I liked it. I thought Suprise, motherfucker, was a good ending. I think that, we could have got Maria and Matthews to do a bit more investigation. It could have started a bit earlier. I think Isaac and the Koshka Brotherhood could have maybe lasted a bit longer. But overall, I like Season 7, and I think this is a good ending. Suprise, motherfucker. Great to see Dokes back as well, so, I'll give him a thumbs up for that. I'll give this one a 9 out of 10.
And it's probably the biggest death since Rita. Easily since Rita.
I'd say so, because it's a main character dying, isn't it?
Yep. But I think LaGuerta's just got that Skylar White heat, yo. I think so.
She has, but she was doing her job here, wasn't she?
She was doing the job. It's weird that her and Matthew's doing the best job they've ever did when it's not really connected to anything that... Well, obviously but it's personal. And I think the best jobs are always going to tend to be done best when it's personal.
Absolutely.
But hers was from a Dokes perspective, his was from a pension perspective. And he got it back. So fair play to Matthews.
Matthews is back in action. Maria will not be. I'm giving it a 9. What are you giving it?
I'll give it a 9 as well.
There you go, guys. 9 out of 10. What are you giving Season 7 overall?
I'd probably say about an 8.5 is about right for
8.5.
7.
Where would you rank it so far in the 7 seasons? I'd put it 4th.
Yes, I think it's a clear 4th.
I think it's nowhere near as good as 1, 2, and 4. And I think it's a step above 3, 5, and 6.
I think 3 and 5 are playing for the wooden spoon. 6 is in a league of its own in terms of a wee bit of lower mid-table. seven's bang in the middle so far, and I think for Dexter as a show, for your seventh season to be like in the middle, not quite at the top three, but better than the bottom three, I think it's a good place for the show going into the final season. But what will they do it?
Yeah, to me that's strange because normally I think when a show declines, it just tends to decline. Normally a show doesn't start to decline, but then get back to its former glory.
Yes, but what I would argue is I think Dexter's very unique in the sense of it always had this, one last curveball of people finding out about Dexter. Not everyone has found out, but it always had this in the bag. Like, if you stuck through the trenches of Lumen and if you didn't like the Doomsday Killer and shit like that, you always knew, well, eventually people are going to find out.
Surely it will get to the point where eventually everybody finds it.
Unless he kills them all.
Well, he can't kill everybody, can he? His numbers are good, but I don't think they're quite that good. Anyway, guys, 9 out of 10. We'll catch you soon for Season 8. So, yeah, don't know if they'll be getting many 9s, but we'll see. Till next time, peace.